The first step of the recipe is to put the oven on 175 degrees Celsius, which is 347 degrees Fahrenheit. So I did that heat over and under. Then I line the bottom of my cake mold with oven paper as it says in step 1 of the recipe. Step number 2 of the recipe is to mix 1.5 deciliters of milk with half a tablespoon of vinegar. And then let that sit for 10 minutes. 1.5 deciliter would be in cups, 0.6 cups. So I'm just gonna put that aside. Step 3 of the recipe is to mix room temperature butter, 75 grams, with 3 deciliters of sugar, which is 1.2 cups it would be. The butter was not room temperature enough, so sugar flew everywhere. So now it looks like this, and next step is to add 1 egg at a time and mix in between. So I'm gonna do that. This is what it looks like after adding 2 eggs and 1 at a time and mixing in between. Mix 1.5 tablespoons of chocolate powder, 2 teaspoons of vanilla sugar, and this paint right here. It's red paint. I'm gonna scoop it out with the spoon and mix it and show you. I think this is my first mistake of the recipe. It says mix until you have an even batter. It's not turning into like a batter. It's just like, you know. I think maybe I have the wrong food coloring. I have gel coloring and it says to have pasta coloring. I don't know. I thought it would work. Well, we'll see if the cake will turn red or not. Next step of the recipe is to put this little at a time into the egg mixture, and yeah, it did actually turn like pinkish. It looks, I don't know, in the lighting looks kind of brown, but it is like a dark pink. Maybe if I had the right color it would be more red. I think it's like not gonna be like a vibrant red like red velvet cake is supposed to be, but it's in the towards red anyways, almost. Now I'm going to add the milk that I had the vinegar in, which is 1.5 deciliter or 0.6 cups of milk, half a teaspoon of salt, and the flour, which is 3.75 deciliter of flour, or 1.5 cups. I'm gonna add that into the mixture and mix it in with this spoon thingy. Next part of the recipe is mixing 0.75, like almost a teaspoon of baking soda with the same amount of vinegar. And it will do this. And then you're supposed to add it to the cake mixture, which is looking pretty pink. I'll be pouring this into the cake mold and cook it in the oven for 45 to 60 minutes in 175 degrees Celsius or 347 Fahrenheit. This cake batter this cake mold is supposed to be like 20 centimeters in diameter, but mine is 22. I think it's gonna be fine. The baby is awake. You can hear him in the background. And I'm baking this in the bottom part of the oven. Now I'm gonna be mixing 300 grams of like cream cheese, 1.5 deciliter of powdered sugar, which would be 0.6 cups, and 3 deciliters of whipped cream that you whip, which is 1.2 cups of cream. I'm gonna be mixing those. There's supposed to be 2 teaspoons of vanilla sugar, but I don't have that, so I'll just mix this. This is the frosting, and you're supposed to do it after the cake gets cold, but I'm doing it while I'm waiting. And this is the cream cheese frosting. It's thick and nice. I think it turned out good. I just mixed it, all those ingredients, and it tastes really good. So I'm happy with it. After 45 minutes, this is what my cake looks like. I'm gonna check if it's cooked or like baked. It seems to be dry all the way through. Cool. I removed the cake by like going across it like this, hoping it's gonna come out, and then try to open it from the side here. And shake it. Oh yeah, there it is. I don't know if it will be 3 layers. I'm gonna cut the tip off the cake because you see it's not even with this knife. It says to like divide the cake into 3 pieces once it gets cold. It's still not cold. I wonder if I can take the tip off. I'll try. I cut it, and I'm gonna save this top piece to crumb, like to decorate the cake with crumbs on top. It's not looking very red, so it's more like chocolate cake than red velvet. So I divided my cake into 3 parts. It broke a little. I don't know. We'll see. This is the finished cake result. The recipe was super easy to follow, and cake turned out delicious. I would recommend you to try this recipe.